Hello everyone! I'm Lost, and generally I try to keep these videos somewhat structured, but not today, because I hate this weapon. This weapon here is Vare's bouquet, and it is the worst weapon in the game by far. It is the worst, and it's the most disappointing weapon, because look at it. It looks kinda cool, right? It looks kinda cool, but that's about where the good things end. This is a hammer weapon, and hammer weapons are perhaps one of the worst weapon classes in the game, and this weapon is the worst of the hammers. It has the worst reach, it has the worst damage, and the weapon art is absolutely garbage. Now, how much damage can we do with this weapon? We do 242 damage. This is at plus 10, right? If you take a look at it, it has a B scaling in Arcane, but this is as far as it gets. Now, we do a 130 bleed damage, bleed build up, but at the same time, these weapons are so slow with so little reach that it's going to be really hard hitting anyone. Now, if you're fighting a 1v1, this isn't too bad because you can adjust yourself according to what your opponent is doing. But if you are being attacked by multiple opponents in an invasion, and this series is all about the invasions, well, then you're shit out of luck, because they will not respect you. You're not doing any damage. Now, you can get a little bit of bleed on this. In fact, you can use blood grease on this thing and to build up even more bleed. But it's not going to matter. Of course it isn't, because everybody will see that you have this dinky bouquet of flowers, even though it's supposedly made out of metal. I don't care. They are not going to... I'm sorry. I need a moment. Okay, look. You do absolutely no damage. And if the connection is even slightly off, then landing hits to actually bleed these people is going to be very difficult. You know, you are going to have to bleed them dry. You're going to have to kill them with 1,000 hits. Generally. And that's not going to be great if you're fighting against multiple people. Now let's take a look at the weapon art, shall we? Because of course you cannot change the weapon art of this. If you could, it would make it a little bit better. But you cannot. So this is the weapon art. It does some bleed, and I also think it gives you some health if you manage to hit it. But that's the thing, if you manage to hit it. Because fighting people with this weapon art is basically useless. Although, you will see me use it multiple times in this video, but I just want it to work so badly. So even though I know I'm in for a bad time, I do it anyway. Now, to make this weapon as good as possible, of course you're going to need to use a lot of poise. And I don't want to use the bull goat, because while I don't think this is particularly cringe, I really hate the clipping on this. My god, I really hate it. It's so sad. So no, the bull goat is out of the question. What you want to do with this is you want to trade, and you want to hope that the enemies are stupid enough to just leave you. Look, the weapon art here is terrible for multiple reasons. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but at the same time, it doesn't really stun your opponent all that long. You can get one hit in, they get stunned, and they roll away. Even though it's a multiple hit attack, you generally will maybe get 2 attacks in. And if you don't believe me, well, let's just take a look at the invasion, shall we? Okay. Post-intro Lost here, let me first just apologize to any children in the audience and or pregnant women who have been traumatized by my ramblings. It wasn't my intention to cause you any sort of emotional damage, and if it happened, it was purely by accident. Now let's take a look at this weapon in an actual combat situation. I do want to say that this weapon does give a rather interesting approach to PvE-centric situations. When you're fighting the mobs, when you're fighting bosses, okay, this weapon is different. Still not good, granted, but it's different. And when you're fighting against a singular opponent, well, okay, it's still really bad, but at the very least, you can manage your opponent. Look at this, though. You couldn't see it all that well, because I actually got a little bit of blood there. But I did about 250 damage on a backstab with this weapon. The damage to this is so incredibly low that I thought in the beginning that this weapon was glitched. But apparently it's not. I saw a blue come in and I thought, oh god, I have to escape, oh god, oh god. And I tried to do so and he killed me. Oh! Feel good moment, guys. Just savor this because you won't get too many of them. We spawn in close to these guys and thanks to the invulnerability, I managed to do whatever the hell that was. It was quite a boost to my morale, and I'm very happy that that invasion happened fairly early on in the process. Now, I'm going to attack a gang here, and I'm thinking, alright, let's try to ambush them. Yeah, look at me getting ready to murder these guys. I see one of them are taking damage, so I'm thinking, is he fighting the enemy? So I run in, but no, he's actually set himself on fire. That's an actual strategy in this game. And I'm so happy that I actually managed to drink some of my juice there, because I can take so much damage and then I land here. I was absolutely saved by the Crimson World bubble there here. Then again, how am I going to deal with these guys? I do so little damage and they do so much damage, and the only bonus I had to be played, really, has now been taken from me. It has ran its course. It is now empty. Well, I better just rely on my skill. And then I didn't hit that guy. For some reason, I didn't hit that guy. So I realize, well, not only have I ran out of any aces in my sleeves, not only are there 3 people versus me, the connection is also incredibly bad, so I will not be able to hit a lot of them. Oh, well, did you really expect anything different? I feel bad, although the man did clap for me, so that's something. But there is no reason to dwell on failure. Doing so will only make you feel bad. So we move on, and I'm very lucky here. I actually managed to get in a fight with a guy who is doing duels. Hey, good for me. So it's just gonna be him and I realize I can stun him. I do very little damage, but at the very least I can stun him, and eventually I'll probably get a little bit of bleed happening, yes. And it's at this point where I'm realizing I could actually beat this guy. I have a chance. In fact, I have more than a chance. I'm actually in the lead, which goes to show that even though you're using a really bad weapon, if you're fighting a singular person, if you can focus all of your attention on one target, you have a very solid chance of winning regardless of your weapon. And there we go. Oh my god, I felt so good. I felt so good winning that, because this one was actually a little further into the video. I had been losing and losing and losing and losing, and finally fighting that guy. Oh, it felt good. I can't deny that, but we have to move forward. We're fighting the Dragonborn, who very handily falls on my face, stopping me from attacking him. Now, as you can see here, there is a little bit of a delay, which is frustrating in the extreme. Right. I forgot he did that. Look, guys, I don't generally criticize people's playstyles. They can play however they want to, but use another move, dude, please. It gets really boring if you just want to do that all the time. Now, as I said, when you're playing Elden Ring, or Dark Souls 3 for that matter, you are simply going to have to accept that you are not going to get the freshest of connections. It is what it is, but at the same time, the frustration that you feel is magnified when you need every single hit to land, and something outside of your control just takes that away from you. That being said, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job here, pushing this guy back, and something that is even more exciting, a blue just appeared. Oh, did I say exciting? I meant incredibly sad for me. So I'm like, okay, I need to hurry up here, I need to end him. Unfortunately, ending him quick is kind of out of the question when you're using Var's bouquet. But hey, I don't really have any other choice, so we keep running, we keep chasing, and at this point I kind of feel like I'm some sort of spurned lover running towards a guy with my flowers screaming, "Please love me again!" And just now I see, okay, another red. This might just be doable. We might do this. If I get a good red in, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna count this as a victory. Now he's starting to throw stones my way. If you see somebody throw these things at you when they try to needle you down, you kind of feel good, honestly. Or maybe you feel bad. But I started to feel good because I was like, okay, I think this guy is starting to get a little nervous, a little desperate. And here I see somebody, and I thought it was the red, but no. No, it's the blue. But then again, the other red, he's there. Fantastic. And I see the moon whale, and I'm thinking, oh god, he's got the moon veil. Fantastic. So I go for the red, and then I realize, oh god, the red has double like spears. You're now seeing a person with the worst weapon in the game go up with something with the best weapon in the game. I hate my life. Wow. And oh my god, the red had less than 1,000 hit points? Right now I'm thinking, oh fuck. I am in such deep shit. The red is gone. At least I got a little bit of health from him. But what am I going to do now? Maybe the blue is gonna be nice to me. Maybe he's gonna leave me alone. Maybe he will allow me to fight the other guy, but I see him buffing over there. Uh-oh. I'm trying to find some enemies now. I'm like, okay, please game, let there be some... just lobsters! Give me a lobster! I try my best here. I think at this point I've started to feel really bad about the situation. And he throws shit! I didn't realize that until now. Okay. You know what? I honestly feel a lot better now. Considering he did that to me, that means I had to give him a good run for his money. He must have really not liked that fight. And if he's having a hard time fighting against somebody with the bouquets, you know what? I'm gonna take that as a victory. Now, this was funny. Oh my god. I can't tell you how many times that I've been saved by using the Crimson World bubble tear. That thing is amazing, and while it only lasts like 15 seconds, I think it's one of the best items in the game, no doubt. If I've had a weapon that were way more powerful, I could have ended the invasion right here. But I didn't, and yeah, we're in a situation right now, but luckily I see that they're not really up. But now there are. Well, I take it back. I'm sorry. I was thinking I have the opportunity here to kill one of them. And I actually did. I actually did manage to murder that guy. And that made me feel really well. I have 4 crimson flasks, 3 crimson flasks left. And now I'm trying to kill this guy. But I can't hurt him whatsoever. I think I may have been screwed there by the connection. None of the hits landed, but I killed one, and that makes me feel good. Look, we're using Vare's bouquet. You have to take the victories where you can find them. Speaking of victories, maybe I'll win this one. I have the right. I kind of find it fascinating that that's your name when you're wearing the dung eater stuff. Maybe he's talking about his right to eat dung. That's an unpleasant thought. Anyways, I'm fighting the guy, and I was doing a pretty good job until his friend decides to nuke me. I'm actually very lucky here. I got a little extra health there because I drank my special juice there, I think. So, runaway lost. It's time for a strategic withdrawal, as they call it. And somehow I managed to survive that. And they're not coming after me? Well, there they are. But I managed to put a little bit of space in between me and them. So, now what are we doing? Now, I was probably running too far away here. I just didn't quite know what I wanted to do. And I look down here and I see, oh crap, One of them actually took pretty decent damage, thanks to the birds, but that's over now. So what should we do? Well, let's try the ambush strategy, because, you know, that works so well when you have to hit your opponent multiple times. Well, I have to, but I don't even hit him once. I swear I'm good at this game. I swear. Now, run away again, Lost. I'm thinking, okay, how about the knights? The knights can do some damage. So I drink up, and oh, I realize I'm being hunted by one of these guys. I pull up my fan daggers, gotta get that bubble shield away, and he managed to keep me away long enough for them to just absolutely destroy the knight. And now I'm thinking, what am I going to do now? I managed to get one guy down halfway, and I'm like, okay, I'll try to kill him, but unfortunately, he heals. I mean, that's the smart thing. I would have done that too, but okay, I can't rely on people being stupid, so it's back to cowardice. I actually managed to land another weapon art, because, you know, they don't respect it, they run away, and I understand why they don't respect it, because it does no damage. I tried to escape, but that's just a no. This is the end of the video. I don't care. I'm not gonna even move to someplace else, so it kind of looks like I've done the intro and the ending separately. Look, man, this weapon gets a 0. I need a drink.